First, let me start this way with Alexandria, Ocasio, Cortez, and all the other budding socialists and Marxists. Let me take 5 of the wealthiest human beings ever. John D. Rockefeller, Sam Walton, Sam Weyerhaeuser, Bill Gates, Andrew Carnegie, Jeff Bezos. Why are they billionaires? Why are they billionaires? They changed the world. That's why they're billionaires. And I could name 1,000 more. Billionaires, multimillionaires. What did John Rockefeller do? He invented oil pipelines, whereas natural gas used to be burned off. Oil and natural gas were able to move all over the country and to fuel homes and to make all kinds of things possible, including heating your home during the winter, including later fueling your automobiles, your vehicles. Well, think about what you do with oil and natural gas today. And he helped fuel, if you will, the Industrial Revolution. Sam Walton. Well, you know what Sam Walton did. Walmart. How many people are and have been employed by Walmart? How many people are and have been employed in the oil industry? In every respect. Millions. Sam Weyerhaeuser, the biggest timberman, was a German immigrant into the United States. But cheap paper and toilet paper, you could thank him. He became a multi-billionaire. Bill Gates revolutionized computers with Microsoft. Andrew Carnegie, the mass production of steel. Look around you. Look around you, particularly in the metropolitan areas, if you reject capitalism. And Jeff Bezos revolutionized, in so many ways, how we purchase things. They're not just multi-billionaires, they're billionaires over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. When they look at Andrew Carnegie's wealth, based on current dollars today, it'd be $309 billion. John Rockefeller, $336 billion. And people hate them for it. I'm just naming a few. Bill Gates, $136 billion. Bezos is up there too. Similar amount of money. But the railroads, automobiles, Ford and others who followed. They created so many jobs and created a quality of life like no other place on the face of the earth. Other countries began to copy us. I give the example over and over again about going into a supermarket. Go into a supermarket. People of all faiths, colors, heights, sexual preference, doesn't matter, cares. And people of all income levels go into a supermarket. What do you see? Everything. Things that kings and queens of old could not even have imagined. We live better than kings and queens of old. With air conditioning, with heating, with running water, with electricity, lights, energy, mobility with automobiles, washers and dryers and dishwashers. We even have toasters for our bread, refrigerators and freezers. This is all a result of capitalism, people becoming enormously rich by providing us with what we need and want. They're not politicians. Hardworking Americans. They created these things. Look around you. Look at your home. The government didn't create that. Look at your television. The government didn't create that. Look at your computer. The government didn't create that. Look at your shoes. The government didn't create that. Your shirt, your pants, your belt, your dress. The government didn't create that. Your overcoat. The government didn't create that. The gloves you have. The government didn't create that. The silverware, so-called, in your home. Government didn't create that. All the appliances in your home. The government didn't create that. The roof over your head. The government didn't create that. The automobile you get into. The government didn't create that. The steering wheel. The transmission, the engine, all the parts. The government didn't create that. The tires, the government didn't create that either. Pull out your wallet. The government didn't create that. Your credit card, the government didn't create that either. Look around you. It's called liberty. It's called market capitalism. Look around you. The government didn't create any of it. It can't create any of it. Who's going to do it? Somebody at the Department of Agriculture? At the Department of Interior? At the Environmental Protection Agency? Who the hell in the government's going to do any of this? Nobody. So they want to take 70% from the billionaires. Let's say they took 70% from John Rockefeller in the day. Or Sam Walton in the day. Or Sam Weyerhaeuser in the day. Or even Bill Gates today, or Andrew Carnegie in the day, or Jeff Bezos today. What do you think would happen? Think we'd create more wealth for more people, more jobs in this country? Are you kidding me? Look at them on Capitol Hill. Look at these fools who come on TV. The hell do they know how to do? They can't even pass a budget. They can't even balance our budget. They can't even secure the wall. Social Security's gone bankrupt. Medicare's gone bankrupt. And a 29-year-old says, I have the solution. And she spews illiterately Marxism. And everybody's blown away. Conservatives say, pay attention to her. She knows what she's doing, just like Donald Trump. She's nothing like Donald Trump. Donald Trump created tens of thousands of jobs. She's created nothing. Not one damn job. But she knows how to reorganize society. She's decided who will pay what. Look at your medicine cabinet. You have things in your medicine cabinet that they don't have anywhere else in the world. You can get your prescription brought to your home. You can even get it daily broken down into what you need. You can get your prescription filled at a grocery store or a regular pharmacy. You can get it filled at a Walmart, a Costco. Look what's available to you. You complain about the cost? There are people around the world that would pay anything, for drugs that improve their lives, for insulin, for beta blockers. You name it. The vast majority of the world doesn't have access to these things. Some people argue over, as I say, some people argue, let's say, over vaccines. I'm not one of them, by the way, but some do. Well, the vast majority of the people of the world don't have access to vaccines. There's nothing to argue over. Nothing. We have a partial government shutdown where a percentage of the 25% of the government wasn't funded as shutdown. I look at this. I say to myself, are they not familiar with the Depression? Are they not familiar with the Depression? What the Federal Reserve did to the dollar, which drove a recession into a depression. Government did that. And I hear people complaining. I don't know anybody who hasn't been unemployed or any small businessman who hasn't had a period of time or woman where they don't have the sales that they need to cover some costs. My parents went through that. I went through it many decades ago. And nobody ever said, but you know what? In a couple months, if you come back, a couple weeks, if you come back, we'll make it all up to you. You'll get all your money back. Nobody gave me my money back. I went through my pension. I went through all of our savings. I had to borrow money, because I was going to get through it with the family, come hell or high water. And I'm certainly not alone. This is the experience of most Americans. But we're supposed to hate successful people, you see, because that's the only way socialism/Marxism/progressivism works. You have to destroy successful people because they're an example that the society works. These men that I've named are not billionaires because they stole from somebody. They're billionaires because they made a difference to you in your life. A huge difference. How about the money men, as we like to call them? You know, the Andrew Mellons of the world. Andrew Mellons of the world? They're financiers. But for Andrew Mellon, you wouldn't have electricity in your home. You aware of that? General Electric used to be called Edison Electric. Thomas Edison invented a form of electricity production. Tesla invented another form. Tesla's form was better. You're using it today. You've heard of Westinghouse. Well, Westinghouse was another big businessman. And he owned Tesla's patents. Well, Mellon, who didn't produce anything, was an investor. Well, he secured those patents in his own way from Westinghouse, who really didn't want to give them up. And, using Niagara Falls, among other places, crudely, but initially, created the process for the use of electricity on a massive scale. He became enormously rich. Tesla was relatively poor, and Westinghouse lost the patents. You have electricity thanks to what would be a multi-billionaire today. You see, billionaires selling to billionaires, it doesn't make a lot of money. They need the consumer. They need the American people. Same with pharmaceutical companies. Pharmaceutical companies. They can spend 15 to 20 years and billions of dollars pursuing all kinds of drugs, trying to develop them to address all kinds of horrific diseases. Alzheimer's, various forms of cancer, and so forth. And most of the time they come up empty. So they have to spread the costs around, the R&D around, to the other prescriptions. That's what they do. We complain about that. We want the government to get involved. Well, who in the government do we want to get involved? Who should get involved? Somebody at the Department of Energy? Somebody at the Department of Education? I don't understand conservatives who want government, and hate government. What is the government going to do? Well, they're going to stop price gouging. Nobody's gouged more than you by your government. You're gouged by your government. What do you get back 90% of the time? That's what they mean by redistribution of wealth, you know. You pay in and somebody else gets. They make political decisions, not economic decisions. They make political decisions, not decisions that are best for consumers. Look at immigration. They make political decisions, not decisions that are best for the American citizen. Now, with this very brief, minor course on macroeconomics, when we come back, I want you to listen to the 29-year-old socialist who's being promoted. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.